This is a tutorial for the quarter cube, and for this cube you should first know how it works. So unlike the regular Rubik's Cube, which can turn in any direction as many times as you want, this one, it can only turn in one direction 90 degrees. So it can't turn any more than that. And the way you can know exactly which way it can go is by looking at this line in the middle. The endpoints of this line can only travel along its color. So this yellow endpoint can only travel along here. It can't travel along this black stickerless area. It can't go that way. But it can only travel along the sticker. Same thing with this one, and this, and all the other sides as well. Okay, well, as you can see, it's already scrambled, so I'll just start from here. And the way I like to solve this is to solve everything edges first and then corners last. And while I'm doing this, I also want to make sure that in its solved state, all of the centers are going to be able to turn counterclockwise, like this. So first I'm going to pick a random color. I'll pick green. And first thing I want to do is to put any of these green pieces in here. Since I already see this green and red, I'll put this one over here. So what I do first is I have to take this out of the way. In this case, it's already close to the red. And I'm going to try to move it up to the top. Okay, like that. Then I want to move it out of the way. And, well, actually, for here, since I want to turn everything counterclockwise, I'm going to have this one onto the right side on the top. So to do that, I can't move any more. So first I can move this out of the way, turn this over. This is where I want the green and red to go. And I'm going to replace it. And now it's on the right side. Now this one, I want to turn all the way over to the right, so all the way counterclockwise as possible. Now I'm going to turn this down, and in this case, it actually can't go down anymore. Then I have to move this out of the way. Now move this one up, and then replace it, and now it can move down. So now the reds are connected, and just turn this. Well, actually it's not turning, so I just have to move this out, flip it, and connect it. And now that piece is connected. And as you can see, this red piece can turn counterclockwise. And this green piece can also turn counterclockwise. So these centers, I don't want to change them at all. Now I'm going to move on to this green and gray. First I have to find it. It's right here. So again, I'm going to try to move it up to the top. Right now it can't move to the top. So I'm going to have to move this out of the way and replace it with this green and yellow, which is already on the top, like that. And then now it's up onto the top. So again, I want to be able to bring this one down here and then connect it in like that. So right now this yellow doesn't turn anymore, so I can't connect this gray. So I have to move it out of the way using the top face and turn this so that this blue and white piece can be replaced by the green and gray. And when I move it down, it's connected with the gray. Just turn the gray and my first two edges are complete. And everything still turns counterclockwise. Okay, so next I want this green and yellow. That one's over here. So again, I'm going to try to move it up. Right now it doesn't turn anymore. So again, I have to take this out of the way and replace it with a piece that's on the top. And then now I can move it up. Again, I want to try to put it over here. And as you can see, it's not turning again. So I have to move it out of the way and replace it. Now I'm going to bring this down to connect the yellows, and when I put it down here, that one's connected. Now the same thing with this green and white. So I don't want it on the left side, I want it on the right side. So again, I'm going to swap it until I move it all the way over here. Okay, now I'm going to connect the whites, and I'm going to drop it down to the green. Now my first layer of edges are complete. And just to check, everything can turn counterclockwise. Now, if all the ones outside here are counterclockwise and the bottom is also able to turn counterclockwise, once you solve the top, that one will automatically be able to turn counterclockwise. Okay, so now I want to put in these second layer edge pieces. For example, this one. So when I look at it, it's gray and yellow. So I want to have the gray on one side, the yellow on the other side. And I want to have the one on the left side, that side color, to be on the bottom, and the right side color to be on the top. So as you can see, the gray is on the bottom and the yellow is on the top. And once I have it like that, I can turn this gray piece counterclockwise and move this over to connect it with the gray and put this one back. So now this gray and yellow is complete. Now I'm going to do that with the other pieces too. This gray and red. First I want to move it over to here. So I'm going to take this out of the way, trying not to mess up this one if possible, and shift it over to here. Now as you can see, the red is on the left and the gray is on the right. And I said the right side color should be on the top, but in this case it's the opposite. So before I do anything else, I want to convert it. So I'm going to do that, I'm going to shift this over here. So I'm just going to flip this up to this side. So turn the right counterclockwise, then the front counterclockwise, and now it's flipped. Now I'm going to move this out of the way and put this green and red and green and gray back to how it was. Now I can move this back over here, turn the red counterclockwise, connect it with the red, and insert it right here. So now the first two of the middle layer edge pieces are done. And next I'll do this white and yellow. Again, I have to flip this one. So first I'm going to move it to this side, and I'm going to do the same thing as before. And I always have to move it to the right side because everything turns counterclockwise. If I turn it here, then it wouldn't work. I'm going to move it to the right, and I'm going to turn this one counterclockwise, and this one counterclockwise. And before I move the top face counterclockwise, this time it doesn't move like that. And in this case, it's actually okay if you move it this way. But that's only because this white and red was not already solved. If this was already solved, you don't want to do it like that, because that would actually mess everything up. So instead, pretending this piece was finished, I'm going to show you how to do this without messing up this red and white. So in this case, you want to first swap this white and yellow, the piece you want to put in, or the piece you want to flip around, with the piece that you don't want to mess up. So you're going to swap that. Now turn the top face clockwise and replace it. Now from here, if you swap this one that way, then as you can see, this white and red is no longer on the top face, and therefore cannot be messed up. And from here, I want to put in this white and yellow piece in first. And then I'm going to move this over to the right side. And now I have to swap this piece again. So I'm going to swap it. And again, it doesn't turn counterclockwise. So I have to first replace this with this red and gray piece, and then flip it around. Now I'm going to put in this white and red piece. Then I'm going to put in this red and gray piece. Now my second layer of edge pieces are complete. Next, this last layer. The first thing I want to make sure is wherever I'm starting from, I always want to have this turned all the way clockwise so I can turn it counterclockwise. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to make everything counterclockwise. You could also choose to make them all clockwise in the end, but I just started out with counterclockwise, so I'm going to stick with that. So everything should be able to turn counterclockwise. Then I'm going to use a familiar algorithm for the regular Rubik's Cube to create the cross on this side. So first I'm going to start anywhere just because none of the blues are already on the blue face. So for example, I'll start with this red. From here I'm going to do F inverted, L inverted, U inverted, L, U, and F. And now, since these two are complete, I'm going to flip it over here so that one piece that's complete is on the back and another piece that's complete is on the right. From here, I'm going to do that same algorithm 2 times and all the blues should be on this face. So F inverted, L inverted, U inverted, L, U, F, and again, F inverted, L inverted, U inverted, L, U, and F. Now as you can see, these are all complete, and I also want to make sure that it's still turned all the way clockwise as possible, so you can still turn it counterclockwise. And this time we can't use the familiar algorithm from the Rubik's Cube, where you swap this piece with that piece, R, U, R inverted, U, R, 2U, R inverted. You can't use that algorithm anymore. So I'm going to use the same algorithm I just used in a specific way, and that will be able to shift these while keeping the blues on top. So if there is a piece that's already solved, like this blue and red, it's already connected with the blue and red, I'm going to put that on the left. If none are solved yet, don't worry about it. Just leave it. Just start anywhere. So since this one's already complete, I'm going to have this on the left side. From here, I'm going to do the algorithm again. So F inverted, L inverted, U inverted, L, U, F. So I'm going to do that once. I'm going to turn the whole cube clockwise. And from here, I'm going to do that algorithm again. F inverted, L inverted, U, L, F, U, F, Okay, so from here, I'm going to shift it over counterclockwise again, back where I started, and do that same algorithm 2 times. And as you can see, all these pieces shifted over once. So I'm going to do that again. F inverted, L inverted, U inverted, L, U, F. Shift it over. Do it one more time. Shift it over again. And do it twice. And now all these edges are in their right spots. And just to check, all of them can turn counterclockwise.